100 subscribers. Awesome. First milestone. Nothing big, but first milestone. Since it is our first milestone, let's reminisce for a little bit. I got a text message this morning from Quinn, or if any of you remember Saxon, and he was like, dude, do you realize that a year ago, or not a year, 4 years ago exactly, we recorded To The Alpha 1 and posted it that day. And, well, technically not 4 years ago exactly anymore. If I would have recorded this video yesterday, I would have been able to say that. But now it's 4 years and 1 day ago we recorded To The Alpha 1, posted it, and started this whole endeavor. Hosted alpha servers for like a couple months, hosted beta servers for a couple months, and then eventually started New Frontier Craft. And yes, I said at one point, and this is true, when I made that To The Alpha 1 video 4 years ago, I had in mind New Frontier Craft. But at the time I didn't have a name for it. I just knew I was going to make a mod for beta. For beta 1.7.3, because that was the last version of the Golden Age. And I knew that I was going to continue it in a new path. And just over time, it's kind of changed on what I was going to do. But hey, it's in a sense been 4 years, but technically 3 years of developing the mod. And 2 of those years have mostly been testing, just testing the mod for its ores. So I feel like once we get back into stuff that doesn't involve crap loads of testing, because they're so big to the game mechanics, that updates are going to be coming out a bit quicker. I mean, quite a bit quicker, even though I'm going to be going back to college at the end of August. Yeah, I mean, as I said, probably 3 or 4 updates a year is what I'm expecting if I'm not adding in a massive update. And the next massive update is Industrial Craft. I mean, the Industrial update. But I'm hoping that I can ask the guy who at least made Industrial Craft for beta 1.7.3 if I could just use some of the code, but I'm doubting that right now. I've heard that he's just disappeared, so I'd have to make my own code for that, and that's going to take a little longer. Anyways, let's get on to a couple topics I want to talk about. First one is growth. We've had a large spike in this weekend in its entirety. Someone posted New Frontier Craft on the Feed the Beast Reddit, and it got on the front page for a little while. And we got almost 1,000 views on our This Is New Frontier Craft video, and I mean, our player base has increased by 30%, and our subscriber base has increased by, I don't know, almost 10% now. That's, dude, if we keep that up, just every weekend, we're probably going to hit our goal by the end of summer. And I think I'm not even going to need to open up my Patreon. I think it's just going to hit 80% on both subscribers and player base. And cool, I'll continue New Frontier Craft. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, link in the description. With this new growth spurt, New Frontier Craft, it's got me a lot more motivated again, and quickly realized that I need to get an installer out, like a good installer that works on as many computers as I can make it work on. So that's the next priority on my schedule. But there's some other things too that will apply to you guys. And the first one is, since we've gotten a lot more people on the server, I've decided to start our first server building contest. So for those of you who weren't here before for the contest, it's basically I give you a couple parameters and you build a cool thing for that, and if you win, you get some prizes. And this is on our main server only. For this contest, what we'll be doing is a 16 by 8 by, keep the height kind of small, but I'm not going to give it any limit, so maybe around 8 blocks at max, a garden. So it's pretty simple, and I'm only going to give it a few days before the deadline. And I haven't totally thought up the prizes and whatnot, so I'll throw those over my face right now, all the details on the first contest. You'll also see that at spawn on the server. In the server information, there was a contest area, and currently it's blank. Now we'll have this information also. last thing I want to talk about is something that I am excited about, and the first time I'll be doing it. And that is a podcast. So A Newer Frontier series of videos has a focus on New Frontier Craft gameplay. It's really not scheduled. We just kind of do it on the spur of the moment when we can. That's A Newer Frontier. The podcast, which I haven't really given a name to, maybe I'll just call it New Frontier Craft Podcast, is going to be very different. It's going to be scheduled. It's going to be really, really cleaned up and nice. And what I'll probably be doing in a podcast is for 10 minutes just talking about New Frontier Craft stuff. Stuff that I'm planning on doing, ideas, things I've encountered, funny stories. And then for the next 10 minutes, I'll invite someone to the podcast and chat with them. And they could ask me questions about New Frontier Craft and whatnot. And I mean, this could be like one of the prizes, is just talking to Zauja for 10 minutes and just asking him stuff online and posting that on the channel. But I don't know about that. If you guys like that, then sure. If you guys are like, well, I don't really care about that, then that won't be the prize. So my current plan for that is to post a podcast on every Monday and Friday. I feel like those will be really good times because a Monday is after you've gotten back from work. First day of work is always kind of like blah. So you come home, listen to some New Frontier Craft podcast, nice and cleaned up. I think it'll be good. And then on Friday, when everyone's done work, New Frontier Craft podcast. So that's all. I mean, I'm excited. The growth, I was not expecting to grow this much after the first week of releasing or launching. Thank you to whoever that was that posted all those on Reddit, because you've attracted a lot of people to New Frontier Craft in a short amount of time. So I hope to see you on that server.